Alright, hello everyone, Internet Tomato here. Oh my goodness, we're about to finish the main quest line of Act 2. I'm pretty stoked for that. I have the tablets. I'm gonna go talk to Maggot, and he's gonna help me figure out these Menhir rights to relight the Menhir, and hopefully save Connacht. So, let's get into it. I've been kind of warned a little bit about there being lore up ahead, and it sounds like I might not be too happy with what has happened, but we'll see. I'll have to see it for myself because I wasn't told too much. Alright, here are the tablets. What now?
Now, of course, we need to head to the Menhir.
Night.
If I've read the notes correctly, the ritual has the best chance of success if we perform it after nightfall. No time to lose. The sooner we start, the sooner we'll rid our lands of this Camelot scum. Now I need to prepare myself, but I'll be waiting for you by the Menhir after nightfall.
Alright, so that means we're gonna have to sleep through the entire day here and go from there. Yeah, well, yeah, I haven't done this quest, so I was not aware that it's supposed to be at nighttime. But I guess that makes sense because it's when the weirdness is strongest, of course. That probably helps with doing the rites. Oh yeah. I've also been told that you can romance Sign, or Sine. How would you pronounce her name? The quartermaster lady right here. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I've done the right things. I've also been told that every person that you can romance, you have to essentially say all the right things for it to be possible. So I might have to be aware ahead of time as to what I say. But I don't know. I mean, I've helped her with her quests, so maybe it is still possible. We'll see later. Anyway, where's my house? This way? Yeah, right here. Also, I'm expecting to see Syria again. I was kind of anticipating her to be romanceable, but I'm gonna sleep in my own bed. Oh, I don't think I ever showed you guys this place. This is my house. Yeah, I don't think I showed you that, but this is my house. I decided to buy it. So 50 grand, totally not worth it, but I did it anyway. Also, by the way, fun fact about this house. I already did it. Well, no, I didn't. I guess there's more. This resets I think every single time you enter, so theoretically infinite money, I guess, because you could just take stuff from the cabinets, and then I always just put it into my stash, then I come back, and then there's always more moonshine or whatever. So let's wait until nightfall. I don't know, that's probably good enough. Alright, and let's go. I also reduced the weight of the crown a fair bit, upgraded my sword a little bit. So now I'm still at lightweight then. Hello.
It worked. I can hardly believe it. I mean, I hoped, of course, that the wisdom of my predecessors and our shared effort wouldn't fail, but you know how it is. Something could have gone wrong. Is everything all right? You don't look too well, Hey?
So, it's done. The Menhir is alive once more. This changes everything. The people of Connacht will stay where they are.
I wouldn't be so sure. The weirdness continues to thicken, and the threat of the Red Death hasn't passed. Besides, I still have my orders, and they clearly state where your Menhir belongs.
I know you have your orders, And I, as a lord, am bound by Camelot's law. But the moment of choice has come, and I stand with my people. I am the Lord of Connacht, not Camelot. I cannot simply command my subjects to abandon their land.
Of all times, you choose now to grow a moral backbone? Spare me. You are a lord, and it is your subjects' duty to do as you command. And if you defy Camelot, well, I don't think I need to tell you how that will end.
But that's where you're wrong, Denholm. There is one thing even Camelot cannot dispute. Not if they wish to avoid a civil war that would break out if they defied their own laws.
What are you talking about? How exactly is Camelot defying its own laws?
I will lead an expedition to find the Holy Grail. Such is my will.
What? So you've really thought this through, haven't you? Well, if that is the will of the Lord of Connacht, then Camelot will have no choice but to acknowledge it. I'll report this to command. They're in for a surprise.
You heard what Denholm said. Camelot won't dare touch the Menhir as long as I lead the expedition for the Holy Grail. Once again, I need your help, and I'm prepared to grant whatever you ask in return.
What do you need?
People I can trust. Those prepared to share the burden of this quest for the Grail. I can't command anyone to join me. They must come of their own free will. Otherwise, the expedition is doomed to fail before it even begins.
Well, the Menhir has regained its power. Why do you need this expedition?
You see, here's where it gets interesting. I've turned Camelot's own ancient laws against them. No one can dissuade the Seekers of the Holy Grail from their sacred mission. That means all orders are effectively halted until I return. With my shield, or on it. It also ensures the people of Connacht have the right to remain on their land until I'm back. Which, of course, means I don't have to return at all.
Do you want to leave Connacht forever?
I don't, but perhaps I should. A lord's worth is measured by the respect of his people. It is time I follow in the footsteps of my noble ancestors and do what must be done. If this holy mission can secure peace for my people, then I shall see it through. And if by some miracle we return with the legendary Grail, all the better. My word would become law, and the Menhir would remain untouched. By Camelot's own laws, I could even lay claim to the crown should I wish it, but I don't. My Connacht is enough for me.
Well, who'd want to join you?
I would start by looking among the most trusted and eldest members of our community. Our priestess, Niante, possesses unparalleled talent in healing. Her presence would certainly be invaluable on such a journey. Then there's Urfa, a skilled blacksmith who was once a formidable warrior. If not for the strength of his muscles, the strength of his mind could prove useful. You might also speak with Maggot. Since the two of you have been through so much together, he may not be thrilled by the idea, but I believe his heart is still in the right place.
So, I find this a little bit interesting because I thought that I was told that it was either 4 or 6 years, but a few years separate the Fall of Avalon RPG to the board game. This quest for the Grail is what happens in the board game. So I do find that a little bit peculiar because, I mean, he must just take a long time to get this going then, I guess. But Your Fear goes, Nianti goes, and then there are two others. I'm blanking on the names, but there was a huntsman, and there was somebody else. But anyway, what do you think will convince them to join the expedition for the Grail?
A sense of purpose in what we're about to undertake. Now that the Menhir is reignited, it no longer matters whether we return with the Grail or not. The people will be safe and retain the right to stay on their land. Each of them must understand that this is about the fate of all Connacht. For some, it might even serve as a chance for a change in scenery. Approach them with kindness. They all have their demons, and I doubt they'll agree to join if they are still tethered by unresolved matters.
Alright, I'll ask what they think about the expedition.
Thank you. And believe me, the reward you'll receive for your efforts will be priceless. And whether they agree or not, I will set out for the Grail. I will buy more time for Cornoct.
Also, by the way, I just remembered, one of them was named Fael, F-A-E-L. He was the huntsman. This is a little bit strange, again, because in the board game, in the tutorial, what happens is that Bayor was supposed to go on the quest with Irfir, Fael, Nyanti, and I am missing somebody, and then maybe I'll remember over the course of the
less attention,
episode.
the better.
But
Ah,
yeah, very strange.
You need something?
Yeah, so I mean, they mustn't go. Maggot doesn't go. Also, Yvain in well, from Maggot's perspective, Yvain kind of tolerates Maggot, only barely. Like, he feels bad for him, but, like, you know, Maggot is still a druid, and the druids are considered responsible by a lot of people with the problem with the weirdness, the problem with the Menhirs, the problem with the Red Death, the problem with everything that's going on the island, and also they have all those disturbing rituals. So it's like all these different things combined. Most people find them abhorrent, and Yvain was kind of described as being one of them. Okay, Nyanti, Irfir, and Maggot. That is a little bit strange. Anyways, so I can't do this quite yet. I guess I have to convince the three, I suppose, until I'm able to get the shield. Alright, well. Who do I want to go to first? I guess I could go... Well, I guess I should just do Nyan. Wait. Who's up there on the ceiling? Or at the ceiling? Oh, this must be where Nyanti lives. Yep. Knock, knock. I know it's the middle of the night. I do. So. Yeah. Okay, that already happened. Alright, Lord Yvain is looking for trustworthy allies to join his quest for the Grail.
I know. I'm the one who suggested it. It's the only way to get Camelot to hold off moving the Menhir. Yvain can count on me. After everything that's happened, I see now that this is the right path. Tell Yvain I'll join him on this holy mission.
Okay. Well, that was quite easy to get accomplished.
All Mother guide you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, there might have just been fun in the expedition. I don't know why Fael. I don't know how you actually pronounce it. F-A-E-L. I don't know if why they dropped him from the RPG, because he has a fascinating story. And I would have loved to have met him. So, I don't know if he's somewhere, I just haven't seen him yet. Maybe you'll see him later. Oh, I have to wait. Okay, I'll just sleep outside. Come on. I had spots. There we go. Well, I did level up twice. I suppose I may as well level up. I don't remember what I said I was going to do next. I probably should be increasing strength because, you know, I am doing a lot of melee stuff. So we'll do that. In terms of skill trees, I want to upgrade this to full. This is really helping. It's making things so much easier to do that. Part of me does want to try this out. Because, like, right, if I get one hefty hit, what's 25 times 0.4? That is 10, right? Yeah, that's 10%. So, like, if I get hit once, that means I'll deal 10% additional damage for a period of time. I do kind of want to see what this does, just out of curiosity, more than anything. So, you know what? I'll do it just to see. Also, because I'm curious how long it lasts. Yeah, I'm surprised that I don't have a single whisper from him. Especially since I've been told the person that you meet in the corrupted temple is or could be the Pale Lady. So I'm shocked that he has no whispers about the Pale Lady. Like, those two were joined at the hip. That I find very, very, very strange. That he doesn't have a word to say about it. But anyway. Hello. Alright, Lord Yvain is looking... By the way, I'm not going to tell him about his wife. I'm sure I'd get experience for this, but I'm not. I would just feel bad. Lord Yvain is looking for trustworthy allies to join his quest.
Beor is still wet behind the ears, and his heart is barely beating. Until I'm sure he can handle things, I can't leave him on his own.
Alright, so gotta talk to Beor then?
Got something for me to look at?
Alright, okay, I guess I'll talk about his wound. Do you remember anything?
In my eyes, she never looked like a monster. I remember following her to that cursed place. When we were close, she touched my heart. I felt a great pain. And then I saw what she really was. I got scared, grabbed something heavy. I managed to get away, but inside I felt emptiness. Each morning after that, the burning of my wound grew more intense.
Okay. I see your fear put you to work.
He seems stern, but he's a good, hard-working man. This time, though, it's personal. As soon as I was sure I could swing the hammer twice, I got straight to work. I'm forging a new heart. I know I've only just gotten back the one that beats in my chest, but I can feel there's something wrong with it. It's weaker. I am weaker and unsteady. It's easier for me to grow impatient and angry. More things seem to cut me deeper. I feel like my heart is poisoned.
Okay, you're forging a new heart. How will it work?
So far, all my attempts have failed. None of those hearts had the spark a forged replacement ought to have. They were far too weak to beat in a blacksmith's chest. There's a legend about the Stone Wardens. It tells that they could forge a heart stronger than any other. A heart that could make a man invincible. Sadly, I don't know much more than that. Right now, I'm just banging my head against the wall.
Okay. Okay, so what do you want to do next?
Well, since the Stone Wardens are all Dalriata, my hands are tied. Vrel is the only person from the tribes that I know. A Dalriata selling books. Now that's something, isn't it? I was planning to ask her about the legends myself, but maybe you could do it for me? Urfir will clobber me with his hammer if I shirk my work again.
I'll do it.
Thank you. I hope Vrel will be able to tell us more.
Alright.
Come back if you've the coin, or something worth my time.
So it sounds like I have to do this in order to convince Urfir to join. Yeah, I feel like I should just talk to Kvor. That makes more sense to me, because why would I talk to a lady who can tell me that the Stone Wardens exist when I can just go to a Stone Warden? Alright, let's head out. Let's go. Let's try my hand at these guys. Ooh, can almost kill me from the head. Very close.
Your armor won't save you.
Ooh.
This is
There's
going
more health than the knight. Well, I guess
Your
he's a
armor
doubting
won't
deserter.
save you.
Red cap. Oh, they're slower now. They must have changed that. I do not... Whoops. I accidentally took it all. I didn't think that they were that slow before. Let's go. Also, while I have the crown, might as well bring in a bunch of these guys. 6. I do. Alright, let's go. I'm sure, I mean, this guy knows me. We have a history together at this point. Hello. I heard that the Sun Wards can forge a heart.
Oh? And where'd you hear a tale like that?
Local blacksmith named Bayor. He's the one who needs a new heart.
I didn't know our stories had traveled so far. The Camelosians prefer to call us heartless beasts only capable of destruction. But I suppose a tale about creating a heart in the fires of a forge is something only another blacksmith would believe and appreciate. So, that Bayor, tell me about him.
He lost his heart to a fae. He got it back, but it's weak.
Aye, that's the way of it. A heart given to those creatures is never whole when it returns. If it returns at all, they drain every joy, every spark, leaving what's left little more than a brittle husk. I'm sorry your friend bears that burden.
Well, he tried forging a new heart, but it didn't work.
He used iron, didn't he? Iron's too brittle. Steel's no better. It's cold, lifeless. To forge a heart, you need metal that is alive. You need a metal that will sing as your heart sings when you see the smile of a loved one.
Okay. So, weird steel?
Aye. It's the only metal fit for such a task. But weird steel alone isn't enough. It must be woven with ethereal cobwebs,
I have tons
threads
of
that will give the heart its strength. Bring me those and I'll forge the heart. After that, it will need to be filled. But that task will fall to you.
Okay. So I just need one weird stone? Man. I wish I had known. So I just have to teleport to the stash and teleport back and do some running. But yeah. Hopefully I'm able to get the shield. Well, yeah. Maybe I should try touching the shield now. I don't know. It feels like it shouldn't work still. I don't know what's happening over there. Yeah, but it feels like it shouldn't work still. But, you know what, I may as well just go over there, see if I can interact with it again. Nope. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the stash. Let's grab some weird stone. Probably in crafting, right? In crafting, rock, browner heart, bloodstone. I know I have weird stone somewhere. Like I've gotten a ton of it. Is it not in this? Huh. Okay, so it's not in handcrafting. Can't imagine it being in alchemy, could it? Doesn't look like it. Weird plasm. I guess it, well, I wouldn't call it common. I don't see it anywhere. There's no way of that, right? Oh, weird stone. My goodness. Okay. Well, I got it. Okay. Everything I need. Teleport here. Run right back. Okay. Yeah, also, I know generally of where the shield spots are, like the pedestals that will unlock more lore and that kind of stuff. I don't know their exact positions. Alright, I brought what you need.
Good. Give me a moment to find the right song.
Staying
I haven't
alive.
lost my touch.
Staying
Yeah,
alive.
your friend will have a strong, beautiful heart. At least in terms of craftsmanship. The rest is up to you. The heart is just an empty vessel. It needs to be filled to start beating.
With blood?
Life, of course. A heart must be full of life to start beating. But we'll talk about that when you return.
What do I need to do?
Well, there are two ways. Through death, or through sacrifice.
Thank you for your help. I'll have to die?
No, of course not. You can fill it with the life of creatures you kill. But it will take some time. A life torn away is far less willing than a life freely given. And I can't say what effect it'll have on Bayor. It's not a method we use often.
Okay. Okay, so a sacrifice?
You can pour some of your own life into the art. It'll weaken you, sure, but I'd say some sacrifices are worth making. Besides, I believe it will give you another kind of strength. Something far more valuable than what you've lost.
Like a level up? Okay.
If you want to fill it up with the energies of things you kill, just hold it up when you fight. It will collect life, and at some point, will give you a sign that it's beating again. Come to me and I'll bind life to the heart. If you decide to fill it with your own energy, just tell me. Either way, come back with either a full heart or when you make up your mind.
Alright. Ooh, 30 max health. I mean, I guess I'll do it. Here you go.
Of course. Ah, this part never gets old. Remember, don't resist it. Let go of your instincts and focus on the heart. You'll feel a bit weak afterward, but don't worry. Strength can always be rebuilt. Here, feel how warm it is. It will serve Bayor well.
Alright. Well, I have less health now. And hopefully after doing that, your fear will then join. I do still need to talk to Maggot, though. At some point. Also, I feel like there's so much of Quinnock to still explore. I might do it off screen, but it's like there's all these like small spots I want to head to. Like that question mark. What is this question mark? Is it that thing? No. I don't know. But anyway, but there's like question marks all over the place that I have yet to explore. Alright, I'll teleport. Well, I guess I could teleport there. Let's go. Bayor, you have my heart now, part of it.
What do you need?
Here's a heart.
What? That's amazing. What materials did he use? What else was needed? Did he tell you how to make it? Oh my. I have so many questions. But those can wait. First things first. For this, I will need your help, my friend. Once more, as always. So, shall we begin?
Oh yeah. Theoretically, yes, we should reconsider it. Lie down, close your eyes, and don't worry.
Okay then. Let's see if those Stone Warden legends have a grain of truth in them.
I trust them.
I suppose that's it. Surprising how simple it is to look into someone's heart and tear it out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. How do you feel?
It's different. Everything looks a bit like it's mired in fog. But I don't feel bad. In fact, I feel good. I feel stronger.
Great.
I guess more will become clear with time. For now, I'll just have to wait and see. The measure of my debt to you is 2 hearts. I don't know how a man could ever repay something like that. I'll be going back to work. Visit me sometime. Don't be a stranger.
Okay. That worked. By the way, I thought I got... Yeah, okay, never mind. I thought they got more stuff out of that, but I suppose not. Hello, Earfear. Can we talk about the expedition now?
Bayor's fully recovered. He's doing well and making his own decisions. He doesn't need an old man hovering over him anymore. And, well, to be honest, I've been waiting for this moment. I'm proud of him. But you didn't hear that from me. You've done right by me, so I'll give you some advice. This whole expedition is madness. But as they say, sometimes there's method in madness. And I'll admit, I'm glad these old bones can still be useful. I might not think much of our Lord, but I won't turn my back on him when he needs help. This isn't just about him. It's about our home. I'll do whatever I can for Kuanacht. Tell Yvain he can count on me, even if it's the last journey I'll ever take.
Yeah, Airfare has an interesting story in the board game as well. Alright, so now I need to head to Maggot. He's over there. Alright, I'll take the road. I usually don't. But yeah. I don't know how much to really mention, but Airfare basically, he goes into a mine. Well, not a mine, but he goes into a settlement and helps do some excavating eventually after the expedition with Yvain trying to get the Grail turned sour. So, that's essentially what he does. Helps people out in an excavation site. Hello. Alright, Lord Yvain is seeking trusted allies for his quest for the Holy Grail.
Really? What for? The Menhir burns beautifully. Nothing bad can happen now.
Well, he says it will stop Camelot from moving the Menhir.
Ah, yes. That makes sense. I can see it now. And he sent you to me. How unexpected. You know, recent events have really given me a lot to think about. My head feels, lighter somehow. Turns out the world isn't ending after all. And I don't need to stock up on mushroom brew to survive. Besides, I have this feeling that Lady Fate might still have a plan or two left in store for me. Joining the Holy Mission. That sounds like one of them. Tell Yvain I'm ready to join the expedition, and I'll gladly stand by his side.
This is really weird. Okay. Because he was not invited. So, very explicitly was not. The only reason why he was taken in the second expedition is because there was literally no one left. So that is very strange to me. It almost feels like this is like an alternate universe. But anyway, let's head back to Yvain. We'll go from there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm trying to reconcile it in my head how that can make sense, but I mean Maggot mustn't go in the end. Because obviously he doesn't, and Fail replaces him, I guess. It's this way? Yeah, back of the Menhir. And then we have all three. It's up here, right? I think so. Yep. Alright.
Stay quiet. Stay safe.
Got your expedition.
What news? The people I told you about. Have any of them agreed to join me on the quest for the Holy Grail?
All three of them.
Ah, now that is truly wonderful news. You've achieved what seemed impossible. I'm grateful that fate has guided you to my side. With Niante, Maggot, and Ifra, we shall strive to restore hope to the people of Kuanacht. You've done me a great favor, so allow me to repay you. Before I depart, know this. You brought change to Connacht and earned my deepest gratitude. Let my repayment be the blessing my lineage received from King Arthur himself. Be the shield that watches over Connacht, as House Terion has done for generations.
Okay. Gonna be a scene? Frozen? Oh. Okay, alright. I've been told several times from multiple people there are stuff to touch on the outside, that there was things to talk to on the outside.
He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dreamer who glimpsed the shape of what could be.
Okay, so I guess I can only touch those that I've already done. And I can do this one.
He was the fire that forged order from chaos. He was the hand that lifted kingdoms, the will that carved a path through darkness. I am his oath, the weight of duty that shields the faithful. I am the wall between order and ruin.
Alright, I'll do this one too.
He was the shelter against the storm. He was the vow unbroken, the bulwark that stood when all else fell.
You can't just allow for things like that to happen. Not ever again. Not when the kingdom is beginning to find its way. You're the king, and that comes with a whole lot more responsibility. You can't let people like Merlin do what they want, even if their intentions are pure. You must see the danger now!
The memory of Seawall is my burden. Harder to bear than I'd like to admit. But I've realized that his story is what happens when power answers to no one.
Then do something so that a tragedy like that never happens again!
Palamedes, you've always spoken your mind, even when I didn't want to hear it. You've stood beside me through the darkest days and fought not for glory, but for Avalon and its people.
I have done only what I believe was right, nothing more.
Yes, and that made me realize that Merlin was wrong. The legacy I leave won't endure through the legend of a single man, whether it's me or anyone else. I decided to give my sword to the Horns of the South, to bind them not to me, but to the people. But Avalon needs more than that. It needs structures, memory, and resistance to corruption. It needs the foundation of something greater than any one of us.
A shield?
Yes. One to guard Avalon, even from itself. You've proven yourself time and again, so my shield is yours, Palamedes. Not just to wield, but to become. Let your bloodline anchor what my reign could not.
And you believe I am worthy of such a responsibility? I will not fail you, my king.
Don't carry this burden for me, Palamedes. You never have. Carry it for Avalon, and may your name be a blessing upon this land for generations to come.
Greatness power received. Memory shards. I need to locate the last piece of Arthur's soul. But time to probably confront Caradoc again. Oh, and
now I understand. The shield isn't an object. It's the bloodline itself. But I also remember The shield was meant to resist. Not enemies, not blades, but corruption, compromise, cowardice. Palamedes understood that. Nothing I've seen here reminds me of him. Nothing resembles the kingdom we were trying to build. Lord Yvain, a joke of a man.
Wow.
A mere shadow of his ancestor. Not worthy of his title, nor of leading his people.
Wow. Aren't you being harsh?
I tried to build something lasting. Something that wouldn't depend on me to survive. I distributed power, tied it to oaths, not blood. Gave regions autonomy, left behind symbols to bind them. But what we've seen so far, that's not a kingdom. That's theater. People playing at being lords and commanders, taking on roles they don't even understand.
Wow, there's a lot of things I can say. This is a lot of things I can say. Okay, you told him Merlin may disagree. What did you mean?
Merlin wanted me to become a symbol. But I realized that one person, one myth, won't be enough. This kingdom needed more. It needed to stand on stronger foundations. And so, I left mementos behind, to serve as cornerstones for various facets of the kingdom. It seems we were both wrong about this.
Okay, you make it sound obvious, but this is a rather complex political situation.
Yes, the situation is complex. But that is precisely the burden of a leader. Complexity does not excuse paralysis, and yet they sit in deadlock, doing nothing, while the world around them fractures.
Okay, yes, Yvain was not doing anything because he's not politically savvy, but it is very different for him. It's not like because the only person he has by his side is Anselm to help him, right? Like, King Arthur had a whole court of people that he could depend upon. It was very different. And right, also, Yvain is leading Connacht, but they don't have autonomy. They are under Camelot. It's a little bit different. Anyways, what would you do in this situation?
Turn every resource toward understanding why the weirdness is returning and stopping it. Hiding in Camelot is cowardice. Staying here? Stupidity. But what I would do doesn't matter. This is precisely why Palamedes was made Avalon's shield. To judge for himself what serves the people. Even if it meant standing against me.
Well, I mean, Yvain is doing just that. He's going to try to figure out what's going on with the weirdness, and he's going to be going to the Grail. So I'm on Yvain's side in this case. Why do you think your kingdom isn't prospering?
We gave our people peace, but they've come to take it for granted. Perhaps those who live without struggle grow soft, and in comfort, they let go of their values. Symbols, without the will to uphold them, are little more than ornament.
Alright. Except for the symbol of a shield, what did Palamedes receive?
I named his bloodline the Shield of Connacht, and granted them dominion over this Menhir, with full autonomy. The land here is among the richest in Avalon. This place was meant to stand as a counterweight to Camelot's rising power.
Okay. So what is it that Denholm and Yvain don't understand?
All I've seen here is fear. Indecisive men wearing the mask of power. But their power comes from symbols they don't even understand. And when a decision needs to be made, they hesitate. When danger appears, they flinch. Denholm, commander of Camelot's forces, is incapable of acting without direct orders. Yvain, a descendant of Palamedes, yet too weak to stand against choices that harm his people. Their fear breeds indecision. If you cannot choose, you cannot protect. And if you cannot protect, Avalon rots.
Valid. Yvain did choose to seek the Grail. That has to count for something.
It was you the Menhir responded to, and you who rekindled it. You did all the work, turned the situation into something Yvain could exploit. Without that, Kuanacht would still be waiting. For what? A miracle? That's why I have to come back. Without us, without hands that act, this land just waits and rots.
So what do we do now?
Well, my friend, they still call me the once and future king. Still hold feasts in my name. Feasts won't save them, but action might. We've wasted enough time. Let's move to the Forlorn Swords and find my crown. Let's make me whole. It's the last hope for this wretched kingdom of ruin.
Okay. Oh. I'm sure Caradoc will show up. No? Why am I in Yvain's bed? What happened?
Stay quiet. Stay safe.
Well, I guess we'll get out of here. Whoops. Press T. I meant to press V. Okay, locate the last piece.
Just passing through. Good.
Oh, is Yvain gone? Yes. Yeah, that is very strange. Very, very, very strange. Because that is just a direct contradiction of what happened in the board game. I mean, maybe they forgot, or... I mean, it's either that they forgot that this is a direct contradiction, or this is an alternate.
Are you sure you want to do this? You can still back out. Camelot will surely forgive you for this insubordination.
I have never been more certain of anything in my life. This is the only way.
Fine. Do as you will. Look who woke up. You're a bit late, though. You missed the show. Our Lord gave a rousing speech to his subjects explaining why he's going to leave them in these dire times. I'll leave you two. I need to start cleaning up the mess you made, Yvain. And before I forget, some shady-looking character was looking for you. Didn't tell me his name, but said you're old friends.
Caradoc.
Said he'll wait nearby.
Greetings, friend of our house. What may I do for you today?
Okay. Do you do him proud? According to Arthur, he is not doing Palamedes proud. When are you setting out?
As soon as the necessary preparations are complete. With any luck, it won't take much longer. Ansem will assume my duties in my absence. He is my most trusted man, and he is respected by the people. For now, he's assisting me in gathering supplies. I do not know when or if I will return. Kuanacht and its people must be ready for either eventuality.
Alright. In my vision, I'm at Palamedes. He'd do him proud.
Really? I hope he supports my decision to embark on the quest for the Holy Grail. Although, in truth, it doesn't really matter. I made my decision, and I'll stand by it. Whether my noble ancestor approves or not.
Well,
and now you are the shield of my people. I trust you will ensure that his blessing is not squandered.
Lord Yvain from Kuanacht will carve his name into the pages of history. Well, no. Your decision brings glory back to the House Tarion.
House Tarion ends with me. Lady Maeve was never granted the chance to give me an heir. And I couldn't bring myself to take another wife or continue the lineage while the world I knew crumbled around me. But your words are kind. The story of my family began in glory, and in glory, it will end.
So what'll happen to Connacht?
I cannot say for certain. But I have faith that Anselm will manage. Truth be told, he's been the one keeping things in order for quite some time now. Since Maeve's passing, I've been all too aware of how much I've neglected my responsibilities. Camelot will keep the peace in my stead, and I can only hope that the people of Connacht will come to trust Denholm and his men. We may not agree on every matter, but I cannot deny Denholm's honor. When I return, it will have to be enough. So, I thank you once more. House Tarion is... No, wait. I am personally deeply indebted to you. Because of your efforts, my family has the chance to reclaim the glory it once knew. Farewell.
All right. Well, let's, Caradoc. I wonder if I can jump in the water, avoid this confrontation. Hello.
Well, well. Look at you. Moving along nicely, aren't we? You're piecing him back together faster than I expected. We're getting closer to the end. And since you've proven yourself so capable, maybe it's time. You should have enough power now to enter his mansion. Here, go to this place and see if the door opens for you.
Arthur's mansion?
No. If you want to know the truth about the man pulling the strings, it's time you took a look behind the curtain. It's the house of someone I once called my employer, Orin.
Ooh.
The same one whose plans got you out of the island asylum.
I know Orin. Orin is like, at least in the board game, he's like one of the few altruistic people in the story. What's in there?
I don't know. We stopped seeing eye to eye on certain things, and our relationship soured.
That's all you wanted?
No, not really. There's one last piece of Arthur's soul waiting for you. The third artifact. His crown, this time. You'll find it deep in the Forlorn Swords, in the capital city of Dalriata. Meet with Gerfan. He'll either attack you on sight, or explain everything patiently, depending on how he feels about... Oh, you'll see for yourself.
Alright, and after that?
Once you're done, meet me at the Charred Conclave.
Ooh.
That's where we'll finish this, one way or another.
That'll be interesting. Okay. Hidden Hand. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, and a lot of new quests. Any others? No? Okay. So, he wants me to go here. I am intrigued by that. Like, incredibly intrigued. Hidden Hand. Orin is one of my favorite characters in the story. He has a pretty rough ending in the board game. I always felt so sorry for him. It didn't feel right.
Stay sharp.
Anyway.
Tis but a scratch.
Oh, missed him. Wow, guys.
I'll get you.
Kill him. Grab. Great job, y'all. Grab, 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 grab. I guess I'll take the shield. Alright, so it's to the north, right? It's also a question. Ooh. Ooh. Now that looks promising. I want to get over there for sure. So where's the tower? Is it along here? Nah, this is too dangerous. Oh, it's up the trail. Of course it is. That would make actual sense. Alright. Yeah, Orin is considered the heir to Merlin. Like the last one of his apprentices. Oh, he went through the stump. What? Somebody behind me. Maybe he was behind me. Okay. A shrine. Definitely doing this. Get some stuff. Here's a tooth. Organe sensor. +5 max mana permanently. I'll eat that right now. Oh, I thought they would have been there. Here. I'll eat that for some mana. Hello, Mr. Miss Fay. Mr. Fay? Actually don't know. Mine. Yes, I have the shield. Let's go. Gates of Knowledge. Man, there's several places to go. And that place down in the river, that looks like a place.
If you're seeing this message, it means Caradoc has fulfilled his task, and the wheel of destiny has begun to turn. I am Orin, your majesty's devoted servant, and the apprentice of your friend Merlin. Nothing would bring me greater joy than meeting you face to face. Alas, that must wait, for our paths have yet to cross, though I hope it will be soon. In the meantime, please treat my home as your own. Make yourself comfortable. Rest from your hardships.
Sure. That sounds like a good idea. Any books? I don't really see any in the main room. Ooh, Orin's journal. Today, once again, I was asked to summon the king. They claim... So when was the... Oh, it doesn't give a year. They claimed that civil war was reason enough to bring Arthur back to restore order. All my arguments were in vain. I warned them the more often we wake him, the worse his state becomes. Naturally, the Knights of the Round Table were quick to remind me of Merlin's binding oath, that when they call upon me, it's my duty to summon the once and future king. So I did as they commanded, and yes, it's true that Arthur's appearance struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. No surprise there. Arthur no longer resembles who he once was. He appears as a little more than a twisted heap of flesh, unable to speak, growling and waving his fists. Thankfully, that was enough to crush the rebellion before it took root. Afterwards, I spoke with Lancelot. He agreed that Arthur's summoning must be halted, at least until I find a way to bring him back in his true form. Personally, I believe Merlin's method deserves a second look. It was he who instructed me to call upon the king according to aspects suited to the crisis at hand. It's hard to accept the idea that my master may have been wrong, but I know the nature of war and how quickly decisions are made when blood is on the ground. Perhaps he missed something. Perhaps he didn't have time to weigh every risk. Tearing a soul apart is powerful magic. It should never be done in haste, and yet he swore he had no choice. The only difference is I have time, and I intend to use it. Yeah. Good old Orin. Very nice kitchen. And this kind of reminds me of The Hobbit. Ooh, I had a feeling this would lead somewhere. I'll go there in a second, I think. Just gonna make sure. Okay, I'll go. Kind of reminds me of Bilbo's kitchen, though. Is Hob? No way. Bro, what are you doing?
It's a beautiful day, don't you think?
It is. Hard to call it a day when we're underground.
Well, that's true. But even so, every day we get to live in peace is beautiful in its own way. If I were you, I'd take a moment to appreciate it.
Alright, what are you doing here? I thought only Arthur could enter this place.
I don't know any Arthur. It's just me, Hob. I'm not really sure why I'm here. I only sat down because this chair looked very comfortable. But between you and me, it's not. I preferred the sand on the beach. It was much softer.
We've met before.
That's possible. I exist. I often find myself in different places, not knowing how I got there. But most of the time, I'm happy. I enjoy this world and the people in it.
Alright, do you know anything about this place?
Not much, I'm afraid. But all these books, I'd wager it belonged to some kind of scholar. Someone who spent their life chasing knowledge and ideas. Impressive, isn't it? I might even try to read one before fate decides to whisk me off somewhere else. Knowing my luck, I'll only get halfway through.
Well, we keep running into each other. Do you know why?
That's the big question, isn't it? If I had an answer, I'd tell you. But truth be told, I don't. It feels like the world has its own plans for me. And maybe for you too. One moment I'm by the sea or in a beautiful garden, and the next I'm here, chatting with you underground. Like I'm being nudged along by something bigger. Some curse, maybe. I've always wondered about that.
A curse?
Oh, just a thought. Maybe I crossed the wrong person or path a long time ago. And now I'm here, there, and everywhere in between. But you know what? It doesn't bother me. Every place I land has its own charm. I meet people, share a story or two, and move on. Maybe that's what I'm meant to do. Be a wanderer.
Right, doesn't it make you curious why? You of all people?
If I'm part of some bigger story, I don't need to know the ending. I just need to enjoy the chapters. And you, my friend, what chapter are you on? Perhaps we're in the same one for a reason. Farewell. And if fate tosses us together again, I'll have a story or two waiting.
Okay. Ooh, draped in trickery, crafting fey-touched armor. Interesting. Torn sinew, mask, and husk increase physical damage by 5%. Alright. Good luck. Yeah. But yeah, Oren was a good guy, and you just, I don't know. When I played the game, I did feel bad for him. Because he had a rough ending. Basically, the Menhirs, I mean, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but who knows, maybe things will change. Are these books, like, grabbable? It's strange. They're moving off the shelves as I get near them. That's interesting. Okay, so there's nothing I can grab in here. Climb up. And I kind of can. Huh, I don't know. Maybe there's something up there I can get to. But anyways, no matter what you do in the board, well, no matter what happens, it's inevitable that the Menhirs are going to eventually go dark. So Oren, as a final sacrifice, essentially made himself become a Menhir. But as you might
My
know...
king, I understand that what Merlin and I have done was against the laws of nature. I know how many brave knights gave their lives so we could find a way to bring you back. My king, I understand that what Merlin and I have done was against the laws of nature. I know how many brave knights gave their lives so we could find a way to bring you back. But their sacrifice was not in vain. With you here, Avalon has a chance to become a true paradise. And now, I believe I've found the way to make it happen.
Okay. There's been a shift among the Knights of the Round Table today. Yet another Lancelot came to me demanding I summon the king, and once again my arguments fell on deaf ears. I told him it's too soon. I still don't have a way to restore Arthur in full. He didn't believe me when I told him the state of the king appeared. The state the king appeared in last time, but I was bound by oath, and so I obeyed. Arthur returned, broken beyond use. He couldn't support the knights this time. He could barely remain upright. Palamedes died on the spot the moment he saw him. His heart gave out from shock. Even Lancelot finally agreed with his predecessor. The moment we left the resurrection chamber and the rest of the knights went off to plan their next campaign, a stranger ran up to me. It took me a moment to recognize him. It's Caradoc, my old friend, the one who once agreed to be the subject of the immortality experiment back before Merlin declared that immortality was no longer enough. I was glad to see him, and even more glad for the idea he brought. Caradoc reminded me of the wording in the oath. I must answer the call of the Knights of the Round Table, but what if they can't reach me? What if they can't summon me, or find me at all? Right now, they use a summoning spell to call me into service, but if I can create a space where the spell cannot take hold, they'll be unable to reach me, and so I will not be able to answer the call. That would give me what I've never had, time to work in peace on a way to restore King Arthur in all the glory and majesty he once commanded and still deserves. Okay. Anything else? The chest here. I have a weird place. I didn't explore upstairs. Anything up here? Just a bunch of stuff. Alright, let's go to the back. Number 3? Yep. Okay. I won't lie, my workshop, hidden deep in the weirdness, serves its purpose brilliantly. Caradoc tells me the knights have tried summoning me more than once, but their calls go unheard. Good. I've had time to reflect on Merlin's methods, and I've come to believe my master made one critical mistake. As difficult as soul-splitting might be, it's still possible, but the summoning that should have drawn on all fragments of Arthur's soul, not just the aspects we happened to need at the time. When the knights needed Arthur the warrior, we call upon Excalibur. When the Dalrita stirred, we reached the crown. Why Merlin? Why, Merlin? Why did you ever think that was a good idea? What made Arthur who he was the fact that he was whole. We cannot treat a soul like a tavern platter, picking only the cut that suits our appetite. Poor Arthur. If only I'd thought of this sooner, perhaps I could have spared him much suffering. I know my master feared that by merging Arthur's soul with the essence of the Four Dwellers, or rather by awakening what was buried deep within him, we created something too powerful to return in its original form after death. And yes, I agree, the risk was immense, and his body too ruined to host such a return. But after consulting with Caradoc, I believe I've found a solution. What if we could free the Arthur the Four Dweller locked away beneath the island asylum? If I can convince the Red Priest to begin experiments that strengthen body and mind through the weirdness, perhaps we can create a vessel, me, strong enough to carry all the fragments, one capable of pulling them home. I'll ask Caradoc to scatter my writings across the asylum. Let him speak with the Pope. Let him explain the weirdness. His pure potential might just cure the Red Death, and that the research should follow this path. Soon, my king, we will meet again, and I will restore you in glory and light, even if I die trying. So I am that vessel. Great. Great. So, interesting. I am thinking about the things that happened in the board game, because there was an attempt to resurrect Arthur by the knights at one point in the board game as well. I haven't gone upstairs yet. Or did I? I don't think so. Anything else up here? Wine goblet. But yeah, it kind of worked, though, when they resurrected Arthur. And it seems like they resurrected him from the grave, if I remember right.
You have no idea how long I've been waiting for you, my king. I've memorized Merlin's plan for your resurrection. Yet I'm certain my master... You have no idea how long I've been waiting for you, my king. I've memorized Merlin's plan for your resurrection. Yet I'm certain my master made a mistake somewhere. I just can't pinpoint quite where. The theory of revival itself, the technique for performing the ritual was flawless. After all, you always return to us. But I saw how much suffering each resurrection caused you. I wanted to find a way to bring you back to us as the person you truly wished to be.
Yep. Which is going to be Rumi. Yeah. Yeah, it must be this vessel that they attempted to create or craft or whatever. Have I been in that room? No. Which I think makes sense. I mean, I was theorizing that perhaps this method of somebody being the vessel has always been how it was, but I was wrong in that theory. It was invented now, apparently, by Orin, good old Orin. A little interesting then. I wonder if I was created in the asylum then. That would be an interesting one. And then my memories are just like planted. Anyway, a complete prohibition on entering the Tower of Madness is hereby declared. The tower before you once served as Connacht Watchtower. Constructed by the decree of Palamedes, founder of the Tarian family, travelers from across Avalon would gather to behold its majesty and unique architectural marvels. The current state of the tower is a result of the intensifying weirdness. None who have entered the tower after the weirdness have returned alive. Thus, we have renamed the Watchtower to the Tower of Madness. Great. Okay. Well, that's fun. Okay, so I have to think about where I want to go to next. Well, let's go. I kind of want to head to the north. I might teleport back here later if we have time, because it's kind of closer to this. Okay, I don't know the exact spot, but it's some. Can I go up here? No. Somewhere over here. Let's see. Can I see it from here? No. Okay. But there's a way to get further north. But you need to go across a bridge. I do not see the... Oh, that must be the bridge. So in order to get to that bridge, we're going to have to climb up here, I guess? Could be. Might be another way up, but if this works, it works. Yep. Alright, here we go. Oh, I have been over here before. I didn't... Oh, yeah. I didn't take the whole trail, though. I have been over here. Oh, hello.
You'll fall to my sword. Back to your hovel, coward.
No, who hit me?
Here's just a flesh wound. Such a cheap shot.
All right.
Your money or your life.
That went well. Pretty easy to kill. Guess we'll open this one next. Nice, another cave entrance. Okay, let's get going. I wonder where that leads to. Does this just lead to nothing? This is just a dead end? Okay. That doesn't make much sense to me. Can you fall down from somewhere? Maybe. Maybe there's another way. Okay. Let's go. Training grounds. Okay. Hopefully I am competent enough. Let's prove ourselves. Kill him. I don't want to deal with that guy. Go, 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 go. Poor development. Too much health. I gotta say, my hits actually do take out a lot of this stamina. I feel like he keeps on getting staggered. Too far. Weird Hunter, whatever it's called, has the same amount of health as this Ford Dweller Knight, because right now I know I could defeat him in theory. What is this thing? Touch? Well, let's go upstairs first. That must be the way out. Okay. Let's go. Fragment of the memory of a beloved child. Gather memory. Memory shard. 2. Okay. That's the Weaver. You know, someone had said that it kind of felt like the Weaver was kind of like forced into the story. I kind of feel it in this case, but we'll see. Maybe he'll explain.
We meet again, Lost Prince. I was mistaken about our previous encounter. I erred in thinking I had unraveled what the Pale Lady had planned for the both of us. But I should have known better than to presume or anticipate the moves of someone as shrewd as her.
Alright, you seem more wary than last time.
I am tired, Prince. I am so terribly tired. I feel burned out. I can't weave anymore. I don't want to. Never imagined that such a moment could come. Oh, what a truly sorrowful thing. To accept that all things must finally fade.
What did you presume wrong?
You meeting me. As I mentioned upon your first visit, I thought it was just a coincidence. A fortunate weave of various events that, under a different alignment of stars and smaller choices, would never have come to pass. However, it turns out that I was meant to fulfill a specific role, and it was not to weave new life as I once believed.
So what's your role?
To weave bridges between you and her despair. Bridges that would allow you to gather the memory shards. She used me. Yet I cannot even bring myself to be angry with her. I see now that she seeks to restore the bonds that once were, before her world shattered and fell into ruin.
Okay, so that means that he can both weave people into existence, because he was making that claim that weavers essentially create Fore-dwellers, but also weave fate, apparently. Okay, so can you tell me more about the despair of the Pale Lady?
The pain of a mother who has lost her child, it is difficult to comprehend, especially for us. For centuries, we never had to face loss, and then only by gazing upon you humans, we had to deal with the idea of death. To live in a world in which everything has to die, such a horrible and terrifying thing.
You say you're not angry despite the fact that she used you.
Her desire
was to bring her son back. I understand that, but can't really empathize with it. Understanding others has always been the strength of humankind. And anger? I'm not sure. For now, I just want peace. I don't want the weirdness. I don't want to weave. I don't want to feel.
Why does she want me to gather those shards?
She hopes that by restoring her son's memory, she will finally bring him back. The Pale Lady wants to put you on a proper path. Yet she does not realize how daunting and impossible this challenge truly is. But those driven by despair rarely measure their actions with reason.
What do you mean by to weave bridges?
Places like this one, or the one where we met before, were chosen by the Pale Lady for a reason. On their own, they're nothing more than aberrations twisted by the weirdness. To bridge your reality and ours, someone had to weave the passages. That someone was me. In both instances, I believed all my efforts were aimed at weaving a new Foredweller, for the first time in centuries. But the truth was far from that.
Alright, so how's this place different from the one where we last met?
The Archspire was a bridge to the place where her son was born. In that cave, I wove the prints from the threads of the weirdness granted to me by the Pale Lady. They were resonating with great desire. It seems the place we stand in now was marked as the place where I had to create the next passage.
We weren't able to weave a new Foredweller for centuries. Why?
Since we lost the war against your kind, we retreated to Tuathan, severing ourselves from the rest of Avalon. All the while, the weirdness has continued to change. It has grown wilder, more untamed, and far harder to control, even for us. For centuries, places like this seemed lifeless, stripped of their potential. And then the spark began to return. It was then that I resumed my work.
Okay, I spoke to Kai, the prophet, and she told me about the bleeding heart of the plague.
So it is true. I suspected that gazing upon the homelands by the Pale Lady and her son could not occur without disruptions. The knot grew tight.
Tighter and tighter, orders that should never intertwine became irreversibly entangled. Uh-huh. Okay. So her gazing... Okay, anyway. Well, I mean, I suppose her gazing into Camland led... Well, okay. I mean, I guess it kind of correlates to the Red Death, but like tangentially. Alright, what will I find further?
I do not dare to peer beyond my lost prince. I feel that what lies ahead is bound to a profoundly intimate and ineffably personal aspect of the Pale Lady. It is between you and her. Prince, it is time to go. Leave me behind. I played my role in this spectacle. Hopefully that will grant me freedom. Farewell.
There's no greater joy than watching how a son, born of desire, grows. There's no greater despair than watching how a son, born of one's own thought, perishes. And now you stand here, hidden deep within. And even I cannot fathom what my heart feels. Still torn, for you are not wholly him, my son, my prince of Tuathan. Yet there is a flicker of joy within me, for you carry the soul of another, whose life was chosen for my son. This means the fragments of memory I gathered and kept safe may be saved.
What is this place?
The heart, bleeding and plagued. A fragment of me. of my despair, accidentally brought into existence upon the homelands. My tears seeped into your soil, birthing a terror that became inseparably bound to your kind. The Spectre, the Red Death.
Right, this is really confusing. You created the plague?
Unintentionally. I could not have foreseen what such an entanglement of our realities would bring. I could not have known the depths of pain wrought by the loss of a beloved child. When it started to spread, I couldn't find a way to stop it. I am so terribly sorry.
Okay, this is... okay. This doesn't make sense. I'll let her speak, but this is really... I don't know. Can the plague be stopped?
Arthur believed that abandoning the homelands would stop the plague. The Red Church committed truly horrific acts in their desperate attempt to halt the blight. Yet, no matter what you humans do, the plague will always return. It's like a curse cast upon your kind. And so, you will drown in my tears.
What do you want?
I want my son back. You walk your own path, yet you will be faced with choices. I hope that, among them, you will find a way to bring my son back. However, I cannot impose my will upon you. It took me a long time to understand that not everything should be demanded by force.
Is there any chance to bring your son back?
I believe so. And you are already working tirelessly toward this, whether you realize it or not. Since my son's fate became entwined with that of Arthur, the King of Mortals, it is necessary to reconstruct the soul of the ruler whose essence you carry within your heart. You will also need the fragments of my son's memory, the ones I so carefully concealed for you to find. Beyond that, the Weaver may possess something helpful. His life-giving spindle. It may prove invaluable when the final trial comes. If you manage to find him, take it.
Where could I find the Weaver?
He is no longer bound by the places I created for him, where he could work in peace. I have a feeling he may have returned to his workshop, deep within the Forlorn Swords.
What are the odds? Okay, okay, I want an explanation. So Arthur, you, your son, how is everything connected?
It is a tale about the Prince of the Four Dwellers, who unexpectedly became the king of humankind. Arthur, we are connected. In the homelands, he heard my call from beyond the mist. It guided him to Avalon. I met him during his journey. I gifted him with the sword, the Spectre, of which you now carry within yourself. He is someone very dear to me. Someone I lost decades ago, whose soul found a new body in your lands.
Okay, so how is reincarnation possible?
As you already know, we found a way to gaze upon the homelands. My son was fascinated by humans. Fascinated by your impermanence and fragility. When one has to deal with entropy and decay, everything suddenly gains far greater significance, doesn't it? He must have desired to live the life of a human. Perhaps it is one of the most powerful manifestations ever achieved by a Four-Dweller.
Yeah, the Weaver mentioned that Arthur's origins are far more complicated.
Oh, the Weaver. I remember the spark of joy that lit up his pale face when he saw what emerged from the threads of weirdness I gifted him. A living being, brimming with such boundless potential. So vibrant with life. He always had a fondness for my child. He called him the Prince.
But you also called him the Prince of the Four Dwellers. Why did you want a child?
In the homelands, I saw a powerful thing that we Four Dwellers lacked. It was love, one of many emotions I had to learn. We lived in a world where everything was potent and possible. It made us live a life where we were drowning in decadence. I longed for something more. Our emotional structure was much less complicated than yours. You were quite an inspiration.
I see you brought humans to Avalon that started a war.
Yes, I am fully aware that my will to bring Arthur to the shores of Avalon brought war and ruin upon my own kin. What would you have me say? There are no proper words for this. I will simply fall silent. Draw your own conclusions.
Okay, we met at the corrupted temple at the Allmother?
Yes, although that was a horribly distorted part of me, living as if it were another life. Now I feel more whole. The emptiness is sharper. The sorrow, far more profound.
Okay. Okay. The Weaver, why did you use him?
One aspect of the potential of the weirdness is that it can serve as a tool. For that, I needed a craftsman. Someone who could sense even the thinnest threads of that potential as part of a greater whole. Every Four Dweller could manipulate the weirdness to some degree. But not all did so with the finesse of the Weaver. He could harness that potential for something far, far greater, like weaving a new life, for example.
Alright, what about your skills?
My skills lay elsewhere. Among them was the ability to peer beyond the horizon of our civilization, to see a different world. A world without the weirdness. A world filled with meaning and purpose. Constructed through intricate connections. A single living organism, yet full of individuality at the same time. I feel that sometimes you do not realize just how extraordinary your land truly was.
I met Kai, Arthur's sister, and a prophet.
Ah, yes. Bound to Arthur through kinship. They were close enough that some of my despair reached her as well. A different kind, however. She was able to find and gaze into it. I pity her. The fate that befell her is truly dreadful.
Alright, that's everything I want to know.
Are you sure? If you have anything to ask, ask now. This may be our last meeting before the end of things. I am listening.
I don't think there's any. Okay, that's it.
Are you sure? This may be our last.
Alright, I want to go.
So, it is done. I am glad my heart could host you. I hope you will succeed in reaching the goal you pursue. You leave this place with another shard. Use the memory of my son wisely. Ah, one more thing. That perfect obedience will no longer be your burden. It was never my will, but rather a flawed interpretation by humans, consumed with the madness of the dying. Farewell.
Okay, yeah, the bleeding heart of the plague, that is very confusing to me. Because I think, well, so, according to the board game and what we know, it was a bootstrap paradox that created the Red Death. What I mean by that is that a person in the future ended up accidentally creating the Red Plague, and then, whoa, I almost died there. But anyways, That's terrible of him. But yeah, so a person accidentally created the Red Plague, and then after creating the Red Plague, he then went into the past and then brought the plague to Camland. So her saying all that stuff kind of doesn't make sense to me, that it was through her sadness that she created the plague. I guess that the only way is if she gave Didurga, because that's patient 0. If she gave Didurga the plague when he looked into the weirdness, and like she's saying that that's kind of what had happened, so she's like partially responsible. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah, I need to figure out where I'm gonna go. I'm kind of being chased. Actually, I don't know if he's still chasing me. There's a lot of them. Actually, if I just head towards that thing... No. That doesn't lead me out of here. But yeah, that is rather peculiar. But yeah, I mean, I suppose that would be the only way that it makes sense, is that she infected Didurga with the Red Death when he kind of peered into the weirdness. Because that's kind of what happened, is that he peered into the weirdness, and then eventually, or somehow, the Red Death was born when he did so. So I guess if she met him and then he got infected by the heart of the plague or whatever, and that's how he became patient 0. I'm not entirely sure if that's what it's saying, and that, I don't know. I wonder if that means if she, like, I don't know, like if she eventually gets over what happened to her son and Arthur, does that mean that the Red Death goes away? I don't know. I'm a little confused. I'm probably gonna have to like listen to her again and look over what the lore says, because it is a little bit hard to I don't know, a little bit hard to understand. But anyways, I'm gonna be ending it here, guys. It's been an hour and a half, so over an hour and a half, I think. Me and my crown. But anyways, yeah, I'll definitely gonna be thinking on this for a little bit. Some of it is hard to reconcile, but I'm sure that people are already making their theories, trying to figure out exactly what happened. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to quite understand how to rectify the two stories. Because she made it sound as if her peering into the homelands is what brought the Red Death. But I don't know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. Please consider subscribing if you have yet to do so. If there was an issue with the video, please leave a comment as to how I can improve things in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. So yeah, see you later. Bye-bye.